Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I take notes on my iPad. I've actually been quite hesitant to make this video because for the most part, I haven't been taking notes consistently on my iPad, and I've just been extremely indecisive over which application I should use for my notes, which is between GoodNotes 5 and Notability. And having watched way too many comparison videos about Notability and GoodNotes, as well as taking multiple set of notes on both applications, I think I've ultimately decided on GoodNotes as my note-taking app on my iPad. As much as I preferred the smooth and flowy writing experience in Notability, the dark pages and vertical scroll, most of these features were made available through importing templates and with the GoodNotes update. So with the app, GoodNotes 5, it is $7.99 USD on the App Store, which I think is definitely worth the price. But being me, I may or may not have downloaded it using a friend's Apple ID, but that's besides the point of this video. So with this update, as compared to the previous version of the app, you can now choose if you want to scroll horizontally or allow vertical scroll. There is also the improved organization system, which personally makes it stand out a lot more than Notability. And if you guys are obsessed with black pages like myself, I will show you how I ended up importing these templates later on during this video. So there's a little bit of information for you about the app, as well as why I chose GoodNotes 5 over Notability. Now, the iPad that I have is the 2017 iPad Pro 10.5 inch in the color rose gold, and the screen protector that I have on top is the famous paper-like screen protector. Essentially, the idea behind it is that it makes the writing experience on the iPad similar to writing on paper. It gives you more control when using an Apple Pencil with the optimized surface resistance, and it reduces reflections, fingerprints, and smudges. And to go along with the iPad, I have the corresponding first generation Apple Pencil. As for the case, I don't specifically remember where I got it, but I will try to link a similar model in the description box below. I do really like this case because it has a keyboard attached, which means I don't have to carry around a separate keyboard, so it's definitely very convenient. So as I mentioned before, one of the main reasons why I prefer GoodNotes 5 is for its really clean and nice organization system. I like how you're able to make folders to categorize each of your different subjects, as well as folders within folders to categorize subunits or subtopics within that subject. And here I am showing you the process of organizing my files for my online pharmacology class. Now moving on to actually creating a notebook for your notes. So there are actually many covers of notebooks you can browse, from simple to elaborate and colorful ones. And there are also many different paper templates that are already available in GoodNotes 5 in terms of color, size, and different formats. The paper that I use is the dark Cornell grid paper that I downloaded from Janice Studies. I will have her video regarding the template and how to import it into GoodNotes linked in the description box below if you're interested in downloading it for yourself. As for the reason why I chose Cornell paper over any other regular grid paper, I was inspired by the whole active recall method, and I wanted to try asking prompting questions using the margin of the Cornell template. And also, I think it'll just be a useful space for me to mark important ideas, points to reconsider, as well as questions that I need to ask my teacher. And as for the reasons why I chose dark pages over white or yellowish writing paper, that's simply because I really like the whole aesthetics of black pages, and I really like writing with vibrant colors. I think it just makes the whole process a lot more fun. Lastly, it's just easier on my eyes when I go back to reread them or study them at a later date. But a notable downside of dark pages is that you're unable to highlight, but I find that I'm able to mark all of the important ideas that I want to by using a variety of different colors. So it kind of works out for me, but if you much prefer highlighting and using a single color to write your notes, then you may or may not consider writing your notes on white paper. And now we're moving on to the writing utensil. So I write all of my notes using the ballpoint pen, and I default to 2 pen sizes, which is 0.35 for the main portion of my notes and 0.45 millimeters for the titles. And if you look at the settings bar, you have 3 spaces for different pen sizes you can set to. So I set the 0.35 and 0.45 as 2 of them, and I leave 1 as adjustable for whatever circumstances that I need to change it for. So as I scroll through an example set of notes, you can actually tell that I utilize a variety of different colors. So for most of my notes, I'd say 80% they are written in white. Then orange for the different definitions and keywords and vocabularies. Then important key information and diagrams are denoted with a pink color. Lastly, I use a light pale yellow to write my prompting questions in the margin of the Cornell paper. With all of those information in mind, we can proceed to how I actually take notes. I start by writing the title of my section in white using the 0.45mm pen, so I will then use a flag banner-like decoration to mark the section number from my textbook, such as 1.1, 1.2, etc. Then, beginning with my notes and the symbols I use a dot to write down any points that I have summarized from the textbook, then followed by an indented dash to denote any further information or detail to support the previous point. I try to stick to only 2 symbols so I don't end up just writing more and more information, hence copying the textbook, and by limiting myself to doing that, it really helps me keep my notes concise. Of course, if I really need to write more about a certain bullet point, I will use a further indented arrow or something I make up on the spot. And as I mentioned, I will write any definitions in orange and what I think to be more important information in pink. Then at the end of each set of notes, I will go back to reread them and add prompting questions in the margin in the pale yellow color. And I think doing so will actually save me a good amount of time if I ever choose to turn my notes into flashcards later on. And that is pretty much my whole note-taking system in terms of symbols and quote-unquote techniques. Additionally, I really like adding diagrams or drawings to my notes when it comes to classes like biology and chemistry. I find that I'm able to better understand a concept if I have proper diagrams with appropriate annotations. On a side note, I do like to draw my diagrams instead of just dropping them from the internet. So that is a wrap on the main portion of this video, which is how I take notes on my iPad. I've also decided to include this little reference clip of how my handwriting looks like in terms of upper and lowercase letters when I am writing my notes digitally. That is it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and check out more of my content. And all of my social media, podcast, and website will be linked in the description box below. See you guys next time. Bye guys!